Hello Universe, this is 24 Noon Days, and today I will be talking about the live-action Mulan. So the live-action Mulan was meant to come out in cinemas around March, but because of coronavirus, filming got delayed and they weren't able to go to their not-in-set filming areas. Good words. So it was delayed for a very long time and eventually came out this September on Disney+. Or did it? So now, I guess it's because Disney didn't have the box office ticket sales since coronavirus wouldn't let us go to the cinemas. But they made you pay $35 to watch Mulan with premium access on Disney+, which you are already paying for. I am disappointed. So when I eventually got around to watching Mulan, let's just say this. Disney remakes need to be put together very carefully. So there's a lot of controversy about these. Some people like them more than the originals. Some of them hate them. They're horrible. They're the worst things ever created. I think it is a bit of a money milking scheme, but honestly, I think the worst one so far will probably be The Lion King. We'll talk about that later on. But I think as far as the scale goes, I think this one got a bit higher up than the other ones. But, you know, I'm not gonna reveal that. I just want to talk about this movie so you can develop your own opinion even before you've watched it. So I'll try to keep spoilers out of this video, but a bit later on I might have to warn you just in case there are some things coming up. So don't take it out on me if you get spoiled and you didn't want to get spoilers. Anyway, I'm going to start with cons and let's go. Next shot. Con number 1. So con number 1 is one that you might have heard about from a couple of different people. And the con is that Mushu and Li Shang, who is the love interest and the commander, I believe, aren't in the movie. So I found out about Mushu not being in it first because I watched the trailer on YouTube and there's a couple of thousand comments about why he's not in it. And from what I gathered, there were mainly 2 reasons that he wasn't included. One, having a talking dragon in a live action movie, which is kind of meant to be more serious and real life. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. So obviously they cut him out, which is kind of sad. They also cut Cricket out. I'll talk about the other Cricket a little later on. So, and second reason that he was kicked out was apparently a lot of people who lived in China and followed the religion were upset in how Disney had degraded the Chinese dragon figure because that's a very high up figure in that religion. And they weren't happy about that, which is fair enough. So they cut him out, which is sad, but I guess if you're gonna make a more serious movie, it kind of makes sense. I don't know. Yeah. So the reasons that Mushu was cut was fairly reasonable. Shang isn't so easily explained. I mean, he's not unrealistic. I didn't think that there was something wrong with him, honestly. He's probably one of my favorite Disney Prince characters. And it hasn't actually been confirmed by any Disney officials, as far as I know, why he was taken out. So there's a lot of rumors spiraling, and I think the most popular one is that Shang was bisexual, because the explanation was that he liked Ping, which I guess, yeah, fair enough. And he also liked Mulan. I'm not 100% sure about that one. It makes sense. It does make sense. But I don't think it was intentional because, what's his name? Shang was going to have to like Mulan at the end of the storyline. So if he didn't like Ping, then he wouldn't really like Mulan. And I guess this is just some fan fiction. I feel like this is something that would be written about in fan fiction. So Shang's not in it, but he's been split into 2 different characters. there is the commanding officer, whose name I do not know, and the love interest, whose name I still do not know. I mean, honestly, I'm having trouble remembering the names from all this live action. I'm not really sure why. Anyway, that is the end of the first con. I'm going to go on to the next one now. So the second con is one that I wasn't aware of when I went to go sit down and watch this, and it was that no one sings in this movie. I'm not sure why. Actually, I'm sure why, because it's not 100% realistic to have people just start singing in the middle of a sentence or something. And honestly, I was disappointed because Mulan has a really, really good soundtrack, in my personal opinion. And it's kind of disappointing not to see it included in this movie. And, you know, there's a lot of controversy about this. There is a way that they do incorporate music into this, and I will mention that a little later on. I think that's the third time I've said this video. Anyway, I'll leave that. You just remember this con and put it over there for later. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Con 3 is, I think, the biggest con of all, and it's the scene where Mulan is getting ready to go to war and fight for her father. Now, in the animated movie, it's probably one of the most memorable scenes for me, and it's really dramatic. They're setting the scene. She cuts her hair with the sword. Oh, wow, I loved it. I loved it so much. It's so good. And it's kind of disappointing. This doesn't count as a spoiler because you know what's going to happen. It's Mulan, right? But the visual we get is she sees her father holding the sword and his hand is like shaking. And then they have a conversation and she takes out the sword, does some sword waving. Wow. And then what we get is, I guess we're meant to believe this is her father. He's kneeling in front of their shrine and, well, oh, it's her father. He's going to war. No, it's Mulan. It's basically her just praying and then she turns around and she's in the armor. And I was disappointed, honestly. I mean, I get why they didn't cut her hair, because there is a very, very cool visual later in the movie where she does let her hair down. But it's just, I can't believe they did that. I'm so sad. I'll justify it later on, but still, I mean, I was heartbroken that they didn't do this. Because this is the big scene. The scene that we kind of see her decide on, oh yeah, I've got to take his place, I've got to save my family. And it's more of a process, I guess. It also has some pretty cool backing music. Random. Okay. Bye. Con 4 was birthed from the trailer that I watched. So trailers are short, obviously. Only a couple of different clips put together with music and words and backing, all that stuff. And there is a scene in the trailer where Mulan is putting the white makeup on for her matchmaking. And in that scene, someone is holding her face. I believe it's her mother. And they're brushing the white on. And to me in that photo, it kind of looked like she was really, really young. This happened a couple of times in the trailer, honestly. And I don't really know why I consider it a con, because isn't looking like a child a good thing? I really don't know, but it kind of weirded me out that she looked so young in that photo and in other parts of the trailer. But, you know, it was fine. It worked out fine. It's not really necessary to be in here, but, you know, this was my initial concern, and this is talking about me, BC, and AC from watching this movie. Anyway, I'm gonna go on to the next one now. Con 5 is qi. You don't know what qi is, do you? So qi is a sort of concept in Chinese culture and Chinese medicine, I believe. And it is kind of your inner spirit and your inner energy. And sons can harness this energy to become soldiers or warriors or husbands. But women can't. And a bit of the storyline that is added in and introduced in the first couple of minutes of the movie is that Mulan practices chi as a kid, and her dad doesn't have the heart to tell her that you can't do this, stop it. And there's also a witch character we meet slightly later on, and she uses chi to be a spooky witch. It's kind of an interesting concept. I think it was added in there so that they could put the witch in there. I'm not really sure why it's there, honestly. But I think the thing is in the original movie it was really empowering because Mulan came back being a normal girl who kind of didn't fit in, and then she was a hero of China by the time she got home. But in this movie, she has outstanding chi power. So adding chi in there kind of felt like it took away the sort of empowering because, well, Mulan was a girl in the village doing all right and she saved China overnight. Only Sophia the First viewers would understand what I mean, you know. But in this live action, she has chi power, which only certain people possess, and only certain people can really use. So it kind of took away anyone can be hero, anyone can be hero. I just said that twice. Anyone can be the hero, anyone can save China, anyone can be special. Because it was just, if you don't have good chi, you can't do it. Sorry. Now go marry that guy. So it's okay, but could have done it a little bit differently. Okay, we're done. So, con 6. Some people might remember from the original movie, there's a scene when Mulan starts to go bathe in the river and then all of the men come in. That scene kind of gives everyone the heebie-jeebies, I hope. I hope it's just not me. But it was kind of done a bit differently in this movie. It doesn't count as a spoiler if I talk about it. But Mulan hasn't bathed in a while. She goes to the river and she's self-conscious, makes some weird water noises. And then the love interest, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, comes in. And instead of it being a kind of funny scene, it becomes an awkward, I hate you, get out of the water scene. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've actually watched the scene, so I'll see if I can find you some clip of it that I can put up on the screen, just like now. But it just felt weird, honestly. Possibly because it was real humans, and real humans can be not wearing clothes. But, you know, I'm not a big fan. But I guess it's probably better than a whole bunch of whatever they did in the original, honestly. Okay. So now that we're done with all the cons, I'm going to move on to the pros, where we will kind of go into a bit more detail and talk about why this movie was quite a good live action. Words, am I right? So the pros start at the start of the movie, as they should. So the movie starts with an opening of Mulan using chi chasing a chicken across a roof. And yeah, but that's it. I just liked how it looked. That kid was very talented who did her stunts. And Lucky Chicken gets to get chased with magic chi powers, am I right? Pro 2 was the witch. She was amazing. I just really liked her as a person. She's actually a bad guy in this movie, or she's with the main bad guy, Boric Hun, who's I guess meant to be Attila Hun. I'm not really sure what he's actually called. But, well, let me explain. She turns into a bird, and then that bird turns into smaller birds. And she attacks people with her sleeves and can possess people. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like she kills them and then takes their form. So is that shape-shifting? I just thought she was really cool. She the best. Probably my favorite character in the movie, as well as one other character who I will talk about later on. Another thing about the bad guys, as our Pro 3, was Boric Hun. Not specifically because he was a good bad guy, but because he had a great hairstyle and good scars. I just thought he was cool. And also he was friends with the witch, or he was evil and not really friends with the witch. Who knows? And then she nearly killed him, but she didn't kill him. That doesn't count as a spoiler because it happens in the first 20 minutes of the movie. I want more, I can't say that. Pro 4 is talking about the songs. I mentioned before that the songs aren't in the movie, and as much as it was disappointing, I think that it was probably for the best, because if you had added those songs, I feel like you wouldn't be able to make them as good as they were in the original, because such a serious live action movie doesn't really fit in, and I feel like the songs would be sort of jagged. It would just feel like they were forced in there just because they were in the original movie. And as much as I'm upset that they weren't in it, I think they made a reasonable decision leaving them out. You get a gold star for that, Disney. Pro 5 is to mention some of the friends. So you know that the 3 friends in the original movie is the ugly guy, the guy who's obsessed with ladies, and the guy who likes food. I'm bad at remembering their names. I really enjoyed them as characters, and I think they kind of split those 3 characters into a wider array because there were a couple of different ones. I also didn't mention before that as well as Mushu and Shang being cut, the Crikey was also cut, which is something you don't really notice, but he is a relatively big part of the movie. But they did add a character called Cricket, and I need to talk about him for 1,000 years because he and the witch are going to battle to the death over who's my favorite character. I think it's just how stupid he is. He's not really stupid, he's just... Okay, I'll just show you the first clip of when we meet him and you'll get it. Roll the clip.
Cricket. My mother says I was born under an auspicious moon. That is why my mother says I'm a good luck charm.
Do you see what I mean? I don't know, I'm not sure. I just really like him as a character and I'm glad that they put him into the movie. I am disappointed with the rest of the friends though. Except that one scene. You'll see. I have here written in my notes. Banana dress. I can assure you there is no scene in this movie where someone wears a dress that is a banana. Why did I write that? This part of the movie we're going to get into some spoilers, and so if you haven't seen the movie already, tread with caution. You might step on a spoiler landmine and it will spill all over you. Okay, let's get to the next. Pro 6 is something that I mentioned that I would mention in the music section when I talk about There's No Songs. There is a couple of times where there is an instrumental of the song around the back, and I thought that that was a really nice addition because it kind of added a small taste of the original as well as the new remake. This one here that you can totally see. I have this written down as a pro, but this is kind of a slight sort of con. So is this pro 7? I don't know. So there's a scene where Mulan, still dressed as a soldier, Hua Jun, I believe she is named, goes up against the witch, which is a great scene. I like it very much. Where the witch is throwing these daggers things at her and asks her name. I am Hua Jun. You will die, not being who you're meant to be. So basically, the Mulan is telling the witch her not real name. And then the witch throws this talon dagger thing at her, which is very cool. And it hits her in the chest. And then we get a very nice voiceover from her father going, yeah, Hua Jun's dead, but Mulan isn't. And she has the phoenix. I haven't mentioned the phoenix yet. I'll talk about that in a moment. The phoenix flies around her head. It turns out the thing that she was using to bind her chest was that it stopped the dagger from killing her. And I'm honestly not sure what that scene was meant to mean. Was it that because she was a woman she didn't die? But, yeah. I'm gonna talk about what happens after that in the next con. Pro/con /con 8. This is 2. Is that after Mulan realizes, yeah, I'm not Hua Jun, I'm Mulan. She rides on her horse and takes off all of her armor. Apparently Han Solo did this, honestly. I'm not sure why. It makes for a coolish visual. She puts her hair down, which is probably why they didn't cut it, so that they could have this scene where she gallops on her horse. Like this. Yeah, this makes sense. But really, it's probably the dumbest idea everyone's ever had. And if you didn't hear me when I whispered, I said that's the dumbest idea anyone has ever had. Though it does set up a cool costume. Wow, I'm nailing these segues. Okay, this one really is a pro. Wait, I said that right? Right. This one really is a pro. And it is that after Mulan sheds all of her armor, she neglects to shed her dress armor. There's this sort of shin armor, and she doesn't take that off. And she's wearing a big, long, red kimono, I believe, underneath her armor for whatever reason, for her plot convenience. And then she has this kind of cool getup where she's got the red, long sleeves, and then she still has her shin armor on. I'll get you a photo so you know what I mean, right? Yep. This is just another random one. The second time that I've shown a clip or a photo and said it was random. But I just like how it looks, and there's a couple of cool visuals later on where she meets the Emperor after saving China twice. Yeah. Where she's kind of standing in front of him and she's got a weird thing on. I want to call it a kilt. But a couple of times, going back to that armor thing, there's a scene where a whole bunch of these Han dudes and she and Mulan's with her friends and the Han dudes are there. And I go, these guys have got those things with the spikes on them that you spin. Mulan, No. But yeah, she doesn't fight them. She just locks her friends in there, like the good heroine should. So Pro 10 is following up from when Mulan sheds all of her armor off. So she's riding her horse. She does some horse chi parkour, and what she does is save China. But let me explain. So the witch has turned into 1,000 tiny black birds who are trying to attack the soldiers, and the soldiers have all put their shields up together so that they don't get attacked by the birds. And now the Huns are using a giant catapult with rocks that are on fire to fire at the little shelters of where the soldiers are. And Mulan just stands there watching them do it and then screams no as it hits the first pod, and then comes up with a genius plan. She runs around where all the dead soldiers are and picks up a whole bunch of helmets and a whole bunch of arrows. Then she goes behind rocks where she sees the big mountain, which she is eventually gonna shoot the thing down from. Then she tricks the people by shooting someone with an arrow, and she has all of the helmets up on a rock so that it looks like there are lots of people behind them. So they start shooting and attacking. She's hiding behind the rock. And then they turn their cannon around and fire onto the avalanche. It's pretty impressive, honestly. I really enjoyed that scene. It was very different from the original, but, I think they did it well. So after Mulan causes her big old avalanche, we come into Pro 11. So everyone's like, oh, you're a girl. You still saved China, but you're still a girl. So, yeah, she gets expulsion. And meets the witch up in the mountain, and she tries to convince her to join their side, and then explains to her that the avalanche was kind of a distraction, and Barkhan and his dude mans are going to try and kill the Emperor. Did I mention why Barkhan wants to kill the Emperor? The Emperor killed his father, so now he's going to kill him. Okay, got that all cleared out of the way. She tries to convince Mulan to join her, as well as having this really sick eyelash tear sunset moment. Yeah, I really liked that scene. I think I just wish they had more screen time for the witch. And I would watch an entire movie about her backstory, honestly, because she's just that good, honestly. Okay, let's go. We're going to fast forward a bit to get ourselves to Boat 12. So, after Mulan saves China in a different way from before, there is a ceremony where the dude man, meaning the emperor, goes, "Oh, Mulan, do you wanna join the guys who fight the bad guys?" He wants her to be a general, and she declines because she wants to go back home to heal the broken bonds torn by pride. She wants to apologize to her family and win back their trust. And he says, "Yeah, devotion to family, it's great. Good job." So she returns to the village, and yeah, we meet her sister. Oh, she has a sister. Remember her. We'll talk about her later. We go back, she talks to everyone, everyone's happy, woohoo! And then the Emperor's soldiers come back with a new sword. Did I mention her dad's sword got burnt in a fire? Don't think I did. And so it's got loyal, brave, and true, which I didn't mention before either. Wow, I should mention things more. And so those are kind of the 3 pedestals to being the best people ever. And on the side it says devotion to family. And it's a good message, and I think it's a good message. But I think devotion instead of just devotion to family would just sound better, honestly. For no particular reason, just because. Just because. Kind of rolls off the tongue a bit better. Loyal, brave, true devotion. It really doesn't, actually. Whew. Okay, we're nearly there. We are at the end for Pro 13. So I mentioned in the first one that, she has a sister now. Totally. I think that was to replace the grandma, who also wasn't in it. Who I also didn't mention before. Good job, me. So basically the sister's personality is perfect lady and scared of spiders, because it's mentioned 3 times. And also nearly gets Mulan, actually does get Mulan not able to get married. Ugh, horrible. So when Mulan gets back, everyone's super excited, and I believe, what's her name? I don't know her sister's name. Ugh. Her sister is being matched because she's pouring tea in front of the matchmaker, who looks ridiculous. And then she hears someone yell, "Mulan," she stutters, spills the tea, runs outside, calls for her mother. You know, all that happiness. And the first thing she tells her sister is, "I've been matched. He's handsome and a bit shy and not scared of spiders." I don't know why, but they're just so cute. I'll see if I can find you the clip. I might not be able to, but I'll go get you the clip. You'll see. So unfortunately, I couldn't find the right clip, but I did go find you a picture of her sister, just so you could get the visual, see what she looks like. Yeah, you know, just check her out, but not in a creepy way. I liked her, the sister. Obviously, she can't be one of my favorites because, I already have 2 favorites who are trying to kill each other right now. So, she's great. I liked just that one line from her. And also how she's scared of spiders. I'm not sure why. That's her personality, scared of spiders. So I like her personality, I like her, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, we are here at our last pro, and this, I believe, is Pro 14, and it is the credits song. So, when the credits roll, they play a song, and the song is Loyal, Brave, and True, which is the thing written on the Mulan family sword and the Pillars of Honesty, and then, yeah. I just like the song. It doesn't really add anything to the movie, but it kind of does, because I like the credits, and if you have a good credit song, you're gonna watch the rest of the credits, which I do anyway. Not bragging or anything. But, just, I think that song was released so much earlier than the movie was, though, which is kind of hilarious for whatever reason. So if you haven't heard it, just go online and search Loyal, Brave and True, and hopefully the first result will be that. Yep, okay. And there you go. That concludes our Disney Mulan live action remake review for today. Now, if I had to ask, was it better than the original? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. Was it one of the better Disney sequels? Disney remakes, not sequels. Yes, it was. So up until this standpoint, my favorite remake would probably be Aladdin. So now there's a bit of competition since it's hard to compare meant to be realistic as well as just a crazy, yeah, we're not going to be realistic, we're just having fun movie. So they're both good. If I was to score this on the scoreboard, I think I'd give it a 9/10, which is pretty high, but still not high enough to be the best and still not low enough to be the worst. So, okay, you know what's coming, right? If you like this video, I would be happy to do another one with Disney remakes again. So if you would be interested in seeing a series of that, then go ahead and like this video. I think the button would be there, or maybe it's there, wherever it is for you. Go click the button, and also comment if you want to see another one, and if you do, which one do you want to see first? I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and go watch Mulan. Now. Not now. Just wait. Go buy a DVD or something. Wow, old-fashioned. Okay, bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.